Okay, calm down, Mother Box. Quiet, quiet. There. Hello there, folks. Once again, from a top-secret location, hidden somewhere deep within the bowels of downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, the oldest settlement in North America, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with me, Wallace, the mad librarian. Anyway, not a lot of things this week, but some cool stuff, all the same. First of all, let's have a sip of tea. And as you can tell, I'm wearing shorts. And what that means is that summer has actually started out here on the east coast of Canada. Although earlier this week, they had snow on the other side of the island here, so you never can tell. So, first things first today. Well, of course, the big news today, and the rather sad news today, is the passing of the great science fiction writer Harlan Ellison. Sorry. Growing up, myself and my good friend Jerry were huge Ellison fans. Loved his writing and all that, but we also loved his attitude. I mean, he didn't take crap from no one. And we kind of patterned ourselves after that. And still to this day, well, I don't take crap from anyone. And neither did Jerry. He never did suffer fools lightly, as they say. But definitely one of the great writers. He did a piece in heavy metal, I can remember years ago. It was just after John Lennon had been killed. It was about gun control and all that, and it was an amazing article. Worth reading if you can still find it out there. But yeah, I loved all his work, his stories, from City on the Edge of Forever, from Star Trek to... Actually, he even did an Avengers and an issue of Hulk, I do believe, to Repent Harlequin, said the TikTok Man. But yeah, he's an amazing writer, so those of you out there who have never read a Harlan Ellison book, you got to go out and get one, because he was amazing. Anyway, for this week, I wonder if I can do this under 20 minutes too. I have been trying to keep the show to a shorter and shorter time period, but I mean, I think last week or the week before went to half an hour. I started like at 13, 14 minutes, gradually went up to about 20, and I found that was usually pretty good. But any of you out there who think I'm just yammering on too much and all that, please let me know, because then I'll find other things to do. One thing I will be doing in the near future, actually, is I'm a huge fan of true crime books and the like, and there's a podcast comes out of Australia called Bloody Murder. You should check it out. It's very funny. It's not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for those who don't like swearing. So if you don't like swearing, don't watch it. And if you don't like swearing, you watch it, don't complain to me, please. But they're one of my favorites. So and they have one part of their show every week where they present something about true crime from another genre, be it comics, film, whatever. So I decided to do is I am going to do a special episode, a one-shot episode. This will be besides the weekly show, but it'll be a special about crime comics. So check that out when it comes out, and like I say, check out the Bloody Murder podcast. Oh, and another one, True Crime Island, also another great one. Anyway, let's get down to work here. Let's get comicking. Okay, first on today, from the master himself, Neil Gaiman, comes A Study in Emerald. This is with the artist Rafael Albuquerque, and and I had a look through it. It looks really, really cool. It's kind of apparently, it's like Sherlock Holmes meets Cthulhu, I guess is the way I've seen people describe this. This actually won the 2004 Hugo for Best Short Story, so not bad at all. Now, I think that's the original short story, I do believe. But anyway, and usually, like I say, anything that Neil Gaiman does, I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan, as you're going to see in a few minutes. My God, I just thought of it. Actually, we do have two things from Gaiman here today. But, yeah, great book. Anything by him, I will buy. I'm, like I say, a huge Gaiman fan. Started from Sandman, and it continues right up to this day. Anyway, let's have a look at this this little baby here. See there? So it has a nice sort of old-time London feel to it there. It's funny they talk about the London fog and all that. It's nothing compared to the fog out here in Newfoundland. We have the real fog. Anyway, I like the style. Well, I always did like Albuquerque's work, but this one looks pretty cool. Of course, I don't want to give away too much, show you too much, but at least have a look at it there. So, and now I've never read this story. This is one of the stories of his I haven't read. So I will actually get to enjoy something a bit new this week. A Study in Emerald, definitely, from the good folks at Dark Horse. Okay. Now, let's see. Ooh. And here's one of the other big things this week. We have, gotta lift it up. Ta-da! The Silver Age Legion of Superheroes Omnibus Volume 2. So, let's break out the blade and slice it open. I'm sure one of these days when I'm doing this show, I'm gonna slice my finger open and whatever. But not today. Knock on wood. So let's have a look at this sweet little thing. Now, first of all, of course, I'm a huge Legion of Superheroes fan. Oh, hang on for a second. Oh, I got a bit too close to my couch here now. There we go. Love the sound. Does that bring back memories, folks? Anyway, does for me. Legion of Superheroes has always been a personal favorite of myself. When I was a kid, my aunt and uncle, they lived up the street from us actually, and they would always send the comics down the street to us after their kids had finished reading them. They used to buy them comics. So thanks a lot, Eden and V. And they'd send them down to us, and we'd read them, and God only knows where they went to. But it's, I mean, I'd read comics when I was earlier, when I was much younger too, but this was something I had a steady supply of them. One thing I did like to do, and it drives me crazy thinking about it, and I know some of you are going to think, oh my God, was there something terribly wrong with Wallace? And maybe there was, but I used to like taking the pages and I'd cut out the superheroes, and then I'd play on the table with them, have them fighting each other. Terrible, 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 terrible. Now, back to this particular, and like I say, and it's funny actually, I'd read comics on and off throughout my youth and all that, but I think I was like 13 or 14 maybe when maybe younger actually, yeah, when I started collecting comics for serious, and then kept on collecting right up to this day. And one of the comics when I went to the drugstore looking for something to read was actually Legion of Superheroes. It was actually the Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and was around, I think it was the 200th issue, the wedding of Bouncing Boy and Duo Damsel. And of course I got right into it, and at the time too it was just like all these new costumes, so I got super excited. It was just like, wow, gotta read this. And of course it was Dave Cockrum's art, and Dave Cockrum, one of the biggest, I guess, underrated comic book artists of the 70s. Absolute masterpiece. So let's have a look at this baby here. And I continued reading them up into when Mike Grell took over, and then on through James Sherman and all the other folks, and then up until Giffen came aboard. And I always did love Giffen's Legion, especially his 5 years later. I know there are some people who don't like that, but hey, I liked it. Anyway, this Legion of Superheroes, the Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1, this features Adventure Comics 329 to 360, I think it was according to the back there. The art is by Jim Mooney, Forte, Swan, Jim Shooter, which was more breakdowns, I think, and George Papp. So a little bit of a variety of artists here. My favorite out of all of them, of course, was the Kurt Swan. Kurt Swan was definitely my favorite artist from the 60s. Now this is a particularly good collection of the Legion of Superheroes, because it has a lot of really important events that happened in it. The death of Triplicate Girl, the trial of Starboy, Super Stalag, the introduction of the Fatal Five, the Sun Eater, and last but not least, the death of Pharaoh Lad. Oops. Spoiler alert! So this actually had some of my all-time favorites. A lot of these became favorites of mine because when they were doing the 100 pagers during the 70s, they would have a lot of these in the backup and all that, and I absolutely loved it. And funny enough, I had a lot of these when I was a kid, and some of these I did cut up and all that. Now, as I grew older, I went backwards, and I picked up a lot of these and all that. So, sort of rekindled my love of the older Legion of Superheroes things, stories. Oh, actually, here's one of my favorite all-time Adventure Comics number 353, and this is the Doomed Legionnaire. This is the death of the classic Death of Pharaoh Lad episode. There's Validus. I always liked him. I always thought he was a cool sort of villain. And they talk about it. One Legionnaire will die in this issue. And they weren't joking. And as opposed to these days, of course, they never did bring back Pharaoh Lad. Now, his brother came back. His brother appeared later on in later episodes, stuff like that. But yeah, this starts out, I think, with Forte, and then there's some Jim Mooney stories. Jim Mooney wasn't too bad either. But to me, the one who really sticks in my mind, and the one who I associate the most, having grown up and having read all these, was Kurt Swan. The Kurt Swan issues of the Legion. They were some of my favorite. Oh, here we go. This was the Super Stalag one. It was such a cool episode. And this is when they welcomed a bunch of new people, which included Princess Projecta, Karate Kid, Pharaoh Lad, and Nemesis Kid. Look how they all had kids and lads. They all had cool names. Shadow Lass, Ultra Boy, Monel, Chameleon Boy, Karate Kid. So, yep, still one of my, I still love these even to this day, even though some people may read them and think, oh, you know, they're not that great or whatever. These I did love. Oh, and here was the Outcast Superheroes. They leave, and these two new replacements come in. Look at this great Swan work here. I think this is Swan, is it? Yeah. So anyway, I always loved their clubhouse too. That upside down rocket. But yeah, this in a lot of ways really was the golden age of or well, it's the Silver Age, but it was like the golden time for the Legion. A lot of the great characters came around from this time. The Fatal Five, one of the coolest villains that they face. I always liked the Emerald Empress with her emerald eye, but Validus was cool, and Mano with that destructive hand of his, cool. So here we go. That's the classic issue I told you all about. And then this one where it goes into the future, the adult Legionnaires, and things just aren't funny. It's funny to see Cosmic Boy with his hair receding, stuff like that. Oh, and here he is going the War of the Legions. So he faces some adult supervillains. And oh, I believe that's Insect Queen. Yeah, when Lana Lang joins the Legion. Anyway, top-notch entertainment here. Classic Legion of superhero stuff. I can't recommend this enough, especially for any of you Legion fans. Any of you Legion fans out there who don't buy this, I'm very disappointed in you. Anyway, another classic to love. Okay, last but definitely not least, I'm going to enjoy this one, but hold it for a second. Sip of tea first. The next is also a Neil Gaiman book. This is also a Hugo Award winner, the 2016 Hugo Award winner for Best Graphic Story, which is pretty good. A Hugo Award, very great award, and it's the Absolute Sandman Overture. That's the one that won the award. It actually is Sandman and all its spin-offs and all that. I mean, it's to me one of the great all-time stories in comics. It's garnered, I think they've garnered about 26 Eisners all in all. So great one. So this one has issues 1 to 6, of course, of the classic series in it, and all kinds of bonus stuff because it's only 6 issues. So I mean, they, you know, these things they had to fill it out a bit. So let's dig into this and have a look. First of all, I love these. They come in these nice little boxes to ensure that they don't come apart before they get to your hot little hands. Oh, and whoa, here we go. Now I know some people who just take these boxes and throw them out, but I can guarantee you, having moved my collection once, and I hope never again, that these come in handy then, because when you're moving your absolute editions, you know, be like if you had a stack of them, they fall over. At least if you have them in these, you're not going to get dented corners and the like. And here we go. Sandman Overture Absolute Edition. These, the Sandman Absolute Editions to me are the Cadillac of all the Absolute Editions. They're absolutely, funny enough, they're absolutely beautiful. What I like about these too is the spines, beautiful spines on these. I remember, and I'm lucky to have bought these as they came out too, rather than having to go and try to buy them all at once, because these are like, of course, $100 a pop. Let's see, woohoo, 125 American, 163 Canadian. But they are well worth it. Now, of course, I'm trying to cut this very carefully so I don't cut the slipcase, or God forbid, the book itself. So here we go. Tear, rip, tear. Destroy. Oh, and of course I always keep this for my bookmark. Now this, of course, Overture is by Gaiman and J.H. Williams III. Quite possibly one of my favorite of the new crop of artists out these days. Williams, just absolutely incredible. He's best known for his work on Promethea with Alan Moore, one of of the other greats. So when I heard he was working with Gaiman, I was besides myself. So anyway, oh yeah, first of all, let's have a look at the, and I love these slipcases here. Beautiful, beautiful artwork here by J.H. Williams. I love this one there too. And of course there's your sides and your bottom there. So like I say, very, very nice. I love slipcases. They're just so cool. And then comes the books themselves. They're beautifully done. I love here's the spines there, and I love these, how they have all these neat designs and the embossed and raised sort of printing. Oh, and on the vertical embossed on the back there. Let's have a good close in look there. See it there? I mean, that is cool. See that? So yeah, great looking spine. And the other thing too is I like how they got the graphic there. The other thing too about this book, these books that I like too, and this is the same with all of the Sandman ones, is you open it here, and there's an overleaf of vellum, like overleaf, and then you're into the comic. Overture. Overture. Look at this. I mean, my God, does it get any better? This is like the champagne of comics. Oh, and here we go. The Sandman Overture. But yeah, it's, like I say, that's the one thing too I like about Williams, is he can have wild design and all that, and yet you're still able to follow the story quite easily. I mean, look at this. Is this not art? Is this not fabulous art? Just flipping through, jumping a few here and there. Here, close up there. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's Neil over there, it looks like. So, oh. I mean, take this. Absolutely, absolutely stunning. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, we got a fold-out page here. Oh, look at this. I'm not going to fold the whole thing out because I kind of got to try to hold it up. Now, the other cool thing about this is, of course, there's only 6 issues, so what they did then is that the rest of the book is they print the black and white artwork here before it was colored. And that gives you a picture of what they're like there. Pretty cool, hey? Love this. And then of course there's all kinds of extras and the like there. Check that out. And of course I love those script things and stuff like that. But overall, stunning. Stunning. That's what I like about, I'll give DC their due. They really do. Their production values are through the roof. When they do something in an absolute edition, they do it right. Beautiful, beautiful work here. Anyway, this weekend, I guess, oh yeah, this is July 1st, which is here in Canada. This is Canada Day. Here in Newfoundland, it's more of a Remembrance Day, remembering the Battle of Beaumont Hamel. Or is it Memorial Day? What do they call it? Anyway, and then of course this week is July 4th, which is of course for you American friends the 4th of July, your Independence Day. So happy holidays to everyone out there. Have yourself a great time this weekend, and while you're at it, read a few comics. And a special shout out, by the way, to Sophia. Hello, Sophia. She's on her way to Europe for a grand adventure. So I hope she has great fun. That's about it for me here in the Library of Graphic Literature. Once again, Wallace Ryan saying, see you at the library. That being said, let's summon. Come on. Oh! Oh my god. Look at the size of that. Okay, see you folks. Gonna dive. What?